And now, in a bid to provide support to the new administration headed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a contingent of stakeholders has proffered alternative economic policies, strategies and procedures capable of spurring accelerated development and growth in Nigeria. On Tuesday in Abuja, Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), Debt Management Office (DMO), and the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative (NETI) engaged other key stakeholders in a dialogue to set economic agenda for the new government. Victoria Ayorinde brings us more.
At a technical roundtable on economic agenda setting for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, stakeholders seek to provide a template to help in addressing the challenges in Nigeria, which include rising inflation, rising cost of living, increasing poverty, rising public debt, among others. The Executive Secretary, Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative (NETI), Orji Ogbonnaya, in his keynote address, enjoined the federal government to adopt policies to address oil-theft menace and put the poor at the forefront of the agenda.
The removal of subsidy has brought a lot of huge burden that we need to move fast to provide some relief. But our support for the removal of subsidy was because of the huge burden that we found that the subsidy placed on the economy. Our reports disclosed that over 4 trillion contained in 2022 budget was slashed from the budget for health, education, infrastructure to fund subsidy payments. And by 90 reports, Nigeria had expended 13.69 trillion between 2005 and 2021 to finance subsidy. We have outlined what needs to be done in our policy advisory on the cost of fuel subsidy to the nation and what government needs to do urgently. They need to support citizens in the area of social safety nets, review of workers' welfare microcredits, access to microcredits, and mass transportation. We are appealing to government to move fast to look into this direction.
Also, the Director General, Debt Management Office, Patience Oniha, said the federal government should focus on revenue generation to sustain the country's economy.
You want sustainable development. Where you are growing, there's employment, the income levels are increasing all across. Sustainable, not 5% growth this year, 30% unemployment among the youths, and like that. You want something that is sustainable. That's the only way we can achieve our collective aspirations. We can't talk about growth or development or debt for that matter without looking at the revenue aspect. We've tended to just shy away from that. But we can't but talk about revenues, and if there's a takeaway that I want to leave here, can we begin to look at revenues? The government needs revenues, and then debt will be to augment, to supplement. What we have been running these past years is almost in the other direction. So please, let's shift the narratives towards revenues.
Executive Director, Center for Social Justice, Eze Oyenkpere, said President Tinubu should listen to the plight of the people and look into the communiques that are presented by various stakeholders as guide in moving the nation forward.
Honesty of purpose and ability to listen to people, and from there decipher what is right to do. And that's why we've made these broad policy positions in not less than 15 policy areas to help the Tinubu administration to come on board properly in such a way that the people can begin to feel the so-called dividends of democracy, so that the situation, the welfare of the people is not worsened, rather it is improved.
Stakeholders hope that the technical roundtable will provide a platform for fruitful dialogue targeted at quick recovery and accelerated growth. Victoria Ayorinde, KAFTAN TV News.